Hi, this is Kim or Adverse Camber 42, continuing my playthrough of Disco Elysium on PlayStation 5. So without further ado, let's get it loading. Hello InfoShark, how are you doing today? Ooh, what can we look at that?
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers the plaza mosaic.
I'm very good, thank you, Info. Thanks for asking. I'm glad you are too. Okay.
Cop habit. You look at everything.
Sorry, what kind of vehicle drove through here?
Hard to say.
Okay. So we can try and reconstruct things with visual calculus. Sorry, just never noticed that before. Let's have a quick look before I get on with what we're going to be doing today. Do I have any visual calculus clothes I can put on to try and help? Can't remember what colour calculus is. It might be blue. Yes, it is. So we got Esprit, Rhetoric, Conceptualize, Interfacing, Visual Calculus. Visual Calculus. Where's the rest of my visual calculus? Nope, I think that's all we got. Let's just make sure nothing's reducing it. Perception, half-life, inland. Action, pain, visual. Yep, that's the best we can do. Let's give it a go.
You see a set of tire tracks in the brown slush that covers
bit
the
better.
mosaic. The tire tracks were left here by an unknown event that took place some days ago. It's a message, written in the language of burnt rubber. Some of that rubber stuck to the tiles right in front of the Whirling-in-Rags. This is point A. The driver started there, and then accelerated straight into the fence, left a hole big enough for the Franco-Nigerian cavalry, according to the cafeteria manager. Why that pang of guilt again?
What happened next?
The driver proceeded to back out of the yard, barely stopping before hitting the adjacent building. Before heading south, must have been in a hurry.
This is where I started off with my motor carriage before sinking it into the sea.
No wonder the cafeteria manager seemed frustrated when he was giving us directions to the yard. Well, you did provide us with a very convenient access point to the crime scene.
I think I got it. Okay, that was kind of fun. But we'd already found the carriage. Anyway, so the last couple of sessions, we have just been really fucking around doing the side quests. So I thought this time, maybe we should actually try and solve a moider. So let's have a little look around here.
Wait, no. Something about this bunch doesn't smell right.
What do you mean? Aren't they Everett's guys?
They are, but they don't seem too keen to talk with you, do they? No, they don't. Glenn seems to be contemplating grievous bodily harm while he massages his raw knuckles. In the far back, Eugene is doing his best to ignore you.
Meanwhile, Fat Angus keeps shooting you furtive glances and mumbling uneasily to himself.
And from his perch at the end of the table, Titus Hardie himself stares at you with a cold contempt that makes you want to leave the cafeteria straight away. Besides, you're pretty sure they consider themselves social democrats.
Okay, I guess I'll look elsewhere then. We couldn't smell communism on them, apparently. Okay, so I'm looking for things I haven't actually investigated yet.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Nope, nothing more from Lena. What about her husband?
Nothing like the gratitude of a good woman. Now then, what can I do for you?
He gives you a gruff pat on the shoulder.
He tries to play it cool, remain professorial, but inside, this man is itching for some news on those traps.
So I checked all the traps,
Good. Okay. And?
and one of them was empty.
Completely empty?
The cryptozoologist's eyes grow wide.
Surprise, tempered with fear and trepidation. He doesn't know what to think yet. Maybe you're joking?
Yes, there was nothing in the trap. No locusts, no phasmid.
No locusts? No phasmid either?
That's not ideal, but...
He rubs his chin.
It just means the Insulindian Phasmid is even more clever than we thought.
Of course, more clever.
You're dealing with a subject near and dear to their hearts. It might behove you to tread lightly.
Yes, the Phantasmadeia picked off the locusts and escaped. This is good news, though we'll have to reconsider the design of the traps. Make them more secure.
Another trip to the reeds.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. What a deft hunter, this phasmid.
Of course. Be sarcastic. Unless you have an alternative hypothesis you'd like to venture, mine stands. Actually, no. Excuse me for getting emotional. This is a big deal for us. You've helped us twice now, and brought some great news too. My gratitude, and the gratitude of the Société Cryptozoologique de Ravachol, is yours.
Heartfelt gratitude. But does it feel like closure? What really happened?
Thank you, it's an honor. We should probably return to our main investigation here. This has been refreshing, but...
Helping cryptozoologists isn't really a priority for our organization, is it? The lieutenant looks out the window, impatiently.
Ooh. Let's develop an alternate theory about the missing locusts.
Consider the way the empty trap was disturbed, as though shaken. Most likely the hands of a young person. Hands small enough to fit inside the trap, too.
I may have met a kid that's the locust stealing type.
Kids? What would a child want with bags?
Oh, my dear Morel. You've been an old man for too long. Kids love to torment insects almost as much as they love to torment old folks.
I'll talk to the little gremlin and see if anything comes up.
Delinquents. My favorite.
It doesn't sound like it's really his favorite.
Oh, you've been such a dear to us. Please, let us know whatever you turn up. I have a feeling we're getting so close.
Well, I see you've got all the help you need. I'll see you tonight at my place. Let's play suzerainty, but no more field trips for me.
Really, Gary? We're getting somewhere here. I'd love to play suzerainty, but...
Lena, I'm sorry, but you're not getting anywhere. It was some kids. I know the little mutants around here. Leave anything out in the open and they'll steal it, even if it's bugs.
He looks at his tea.
Morel, it's been fun, really, but I need a bath and I have deliveries to handle. When this tea is done, I gotta run.
No need to apologise, Geary. You'd be more than helpful. We'll have to take a rain check on that game of suzerainty today, though. We're gonna follow this through.
Hello there, John. Welcome to the channel. What is it that you can't believe? Don't believe in the phasmid? Okay, did you know Gary was hiding the armor?
Hell no. I had no idea. And I'm still cross with him, to be honest. It's not like him. He's got his quirks, but dishonesty, disloyalty are not one of them.
I don't know what got into him, officer. Thank you for letting him off easy. He won't forget it. We'll make sure he won't.
Ah, I see. It's your favourite quote from the game. Actually, I should put my favourite armour back on again. I just realised I hadn't changed it since we did that previous roll. Where's me fuck the world jacket gone? There it is. Good jacket. Yeah, the glasses can stay for now. They'll do.
Always a pleasure to see an officer of the law. I mean, officers.
Nope, nothing new from him. Let's try Garter.
Hey, was there something you needed?
Well, well. Bringing him that new bird sure made a difference in his attitude.
I don't want to pay his bill. We've got the free lodgings.
Yes? What is it?
Oh, alright, this is following on from the karaoke. Did you hear that? Did you hear me sing? Did you like it?
That was pretty good, Harry. Wasn't it, Jean?
That was. Yeah, that was absolute shit, if you want my opinion. Drunken shit. Haven't wanted anything to end this badly since I had cluster headaches. Horrible. Truly horrible. I beg of you, don't ever subject anyone to this torture again. I mean, seriously, you need to...
Jean, it's not right. Don't make it worse, and I really liked it.
I thought it was pretty good. Screw you, Jean. Right. Who else haven't we spoken to for a bit?
I've got nothing to say to you.
Okay, nothing from you.
It's you again. What is it?
Anything new from Titus? Nope, not for now. But there are some glowing things on the wall I can touch. Photos of men in overalls toting guns and Union placards. You see hawthorn bushes outside. Okay, curious. Oh, I don't think I've spoken to that chap for ages.
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence.
Leo says you're friends with Manana. Is that true?
The mention of Manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends?
What's that borscht you're making there? I point to the large pot.
The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his, and then seems to wait for you to speak.
Yes, I nod.
Borscht need more vodka?
He picks up a bottle from the shelf.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Vodka borscht! I love it, Bratan! Turn it the fuck up and then ask for some yourself.
Well, if the necktie says it's okay.
Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg.
Yes, I nod and turn my fingers clockwise. Turn the vodka up.
He smiles, nodding vigorously, then pours half a bottle of vodka into the pot. With a whistle, he stirs the brew.
Goroshi, can I have some of that brew?
He smiles and nods enthusiastically, and, chattering away in his language, ladles some brew into a small thermal cup, then hands it to you.
Okay.
You see a heavy steel door.
No, we still don't have a way to open that door. Let's continue looking around the room. I'm not sure if we're talking to Klaasje today either. We'll go upstairs and speak to her. It's all about money, you know. It is indeed. Right, let's go and see if we spoke to Klaasje. Can't remember the last time we spoke to her. There might be something new we've got to ask her. Alright.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Light from the desk lamp reflects off the glass.
Ooh, can we have another shot at the door?
The same small, heavy door.
Nope, can't have another shot at the door. Klaasje, is there anything I haven't said to you?
Officer, is it fine?
Nope, nothing new yet.
This window is...
Looks like it.
You know which window has not been recently replaced? Whatever it is.
Stop distracting him!
Right, we've already done that one. Let's go. No, stop looking at the window. Down the stairs. Okay, there was the comment down there about the hawthorn bushes. Let's go see what we got. We need to talk to Kuno anyway about whether or not he stole the locusts. And presumably Kuno's still out the back.
Fuck does Kuno care?
He doesn't care. You wouldn't happen to know about any missing locusts?
No, Kuno doesn't give a fuck about bugs.
Oh my god, I told you that shit is lame!
Shut up, see.
Now they're gonna take you to lame prison!
She sounds like she's about to cry, out of disappointment at Kuno's newfound lameness.
Now hold on, no one's lame here. Just tell me what happened.
Deny everything, Kuno. You need to lawyer up.
Kuno's not gonna say anything without his lawyer present.
There's definitely something going on here. Remember his pig's head shack? You should check it out.
Kuno, let's talk about your shack again.
The fuck do you want with it?
No, nothing more
Good
though.
call, Pigmeister.
Guess we're gonna have to go and have a rummage. Right.
The trash container stand. The smell of rotten food rises to greet you.
Anything more I need to
You
look
see
at in
soggy
here?
cartons, dirty rags, and organic waste. You see
Whoop,
a box.
didn't mean to
You
press
see
that.
a box falls into the container. Sounds a
nothing new in the
muffled
trash.
groan.
Okay. What haven't I looked at? We can still look at those footprints.
There are several footprints in the mud, left by work boots. Anywhere from 6 to 12 pairs have walked here.
Let's get an exact count.
8 pairs of boots have shuffled back and forth in the mud. Where else have we seen a gang of men in work boots? That's right, the Hardie Boys in the mess hall of Whirling-in-Rags.
Go over them one by one.
1. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 46. Just like Titus was wearing in his booth. This is the big dick, Titus Hardie. The one with the bald cap on his head.
Interesting.
Is it? They didn't even bother to change boots. Putting them on the scene is easy. Maybe even too easy.
I continue counting.
2. Standard work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 44. Either the blonde muscular guy, Glenn, or the young guy with a plectrum around his neck. 3. Hobnailed work boot. Steel reinforced toes. Number 43. The inked banger, perhaps. 4. Standard work boot. Number 45 or 46. Theo, the old smoker. You think you even see a tiny fleck of cigarette ash inside the print.
What else?
5. Another standard work boot. Reinforced toes. Number 44. Same as before. Either the musician, Eugene, or the muscle-bound blonde, Glenn. 6. Light as air. Same make of boot, but number 41. Small like a rat. Shanky.
I should have gotten this earlier.
Better late than never, detective. The whole world is dark and the tracks burn in it with strange beauty.
I count the rest.
7. The glowing outline of a standard work boot. Number 46. The imprints are twice as deep as the others. The weight exceeds 200 kilograms. Fat Angus. Carrying something?
And the last one?
8. Another standard work boot. Number 44. There's an aberration in the pattern of the sole. The right sole is smoother, more worn. Curious. A missing 8th Hardie Boy.
Ooh.
7 sets of tracks, right? The Hardie Boys were here.
8, actually.
That's all? Interesting. Then one of them seems to be missing. Anything else out of the ordinary?
A leader like Titus doesn't let one of his guys out of sight easily, especially at a time like this.
I point. Light step, number 41 shoe.
I'm guessing that's the skinny Hardie Boy. The one with his front teeth missing.
You mean the rat-faced one?
Yes, well, he did look a bit like a rat, you're right. Do you think those prints belong to him?
Yes.
I could still be wrong, but I'm probably not.
I point. A heavy one, 200-kilogram imprint.
200? This could be the combined weight of two people, one carrying the other who's tied up. Let's say a heavily built worker carrying a similarly built armored man. Maybe it was a fat Hardie Boy, the one sitting in the middle.
He might be right. 200 kilograms of living weight is unlikely.
You're right. The fat guy from the booth was carrying the victim.
Probably yes. This would also fit with the victim being dead from a previous gunshot wound. They had to carry him, because he could no longer walk. Is there anything else that's noteworthy here?
I point. An aberration. One soul is smoother than the other.
Interesting. Let's name it the Odd Soul. I wouldn't be surprised if this was the missing Hardie Boy. Wonder who he is.
Do you have any ideas, Lieutenant?
Someone operating a workbench with a pedal? Like a joiner at the harbor. Or maybe a drummer?
He regrets it the moment he says it.
So, one of the people we're looking for is a drummer?
No, it's not. Forget I said it. We are not looking for a drummer. Perhaps it could be a driver. A driver would wear out their right shoe before the left. The accelerator is on the right.
I was actually thinking the same thing.
He doesn't seem to hear you. Looking south, toward the traffic jam instead. The machines are silent. The engines are all turned off.
We should keep our eyes open around the traffic jam. See whether anyone strikes out as a potential suspect. Seems prudent, no?
Yes, prudent.
Mm-hmm.
How old do you think these tracks are?
A week, maybe? 7 days would fit the time frame provided to us by the caller, who reported the hanging.
It is not impossible.
How'd you know?
I pulled last week's forecast for coastal Havashol. 7 days below freezing. The day before, the day of his hanging, was the last warm day.
Correct again. Sub-zero temperatures would preserve the tracks in a good state. The commotion here could have taken place a week ago.
What do you think happened here?
What do I think? A mob of people brought something heavy to the tree. One of them was carrying the victim. They shuffled around, especially under the tree. Then, after hoisting him up, they stood in a semicircle facing his direction. At first glance, this appears to be a lynching.
Indeed. They all stood in a row here and looked at the tree.
But we know the victim had a bullet in his head. A more precise way to put it is, it was made to look like a lynching.
We've been purposefully misled.
By these tracks? Yes.
We've been through all of it. Okay, that feels like something I can go and press the Hardie Boys about. Whoa, 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 what's that? The sound of snow dripping off the roof. It's strange. Anyway, let's just go. It's crawling with locusts in here. And there they are.
All around you, the hisses and chirps of locusts fill the musky air. The earthen floor of the shack has been shaped into mounds of mud, dotted with little holes for windows.
Aww.
Well, detective, it appears you've solved the case.
The lieutenant looks around and writes something in his notebook and turns to you.
Of the locusts. For the missing locust case, which is a sub-case of the imaginary insect case. So at least that's going well.
Stop being so sarcastic, Kim.
Oh, I'm not being sarcastic at all. We are making real progress here.
Do you think the Insulindian Phasmid is nearby?
If anything, the presence of the locust points to the opposite. The Phasmid did not take the bait from the traps. It was Kuno. The Phasmid doesn't exist. But what do I know?
We should talk to Kuno about this and get him to stop.
I'll let you handle the Kuno side of things. You are doing just fine.
Aww, kind of sad it wasn't the Phasmid. Okay, Kuno.
Fuck does Kuno care?
I know you took the locust from the traps that the cryptozoologist set up.
Yeah. Kuno took the bugs. So what?
So it wasn't the Phasmid. A wave of disappointment washes over you.
I was really hoping it'd be a Reed Phasmid that ate the locust, not you, Kuno.
Yeah, well, Kuno's all you got, bitch.
You say you don't give a fuck about the bugs, and then you go and build a whole bug town?
It's not Bugtown. It's the city of locusts. Locusts aren't just bug shit. They come out of the sky like a fucking shadow. Shit descends.
Stop!
She wails from behind the fence and buries her face in her hands.
You stop. It's like their fucking night. Locust City, Night City, City of Rage.
The girl forces herself to watch again, the corners of her eyes twitching from discomfort. The lameness is causing her physical pain. The damage may be permanent.
City of Rage sounds like a cool place.
Kuno, the pig wants to help you. Oh, that's how lame it is. Please just don't say you're...
An artist? Maybe I am an artist. You hear that, everyone? I'm a fucking artist now.
That's great, Kuno. It's cool to make art.
Oh my god, Kuno! He's gonna make you totally lame in, like, 3 seconds. Don't let him, Kuno.
Yo, fuck you, see? Kuno can be what Kuno wants to be. Kuno's his own man. Kuno's free.
He tears at the buttons of his shirt, trying to rip them open. They don't give way.
Kuno made himself into Kuno. Kuno can make himself into anything. Kuno can make himself into a pig if he wants. Kuno can make himself into a... Kuno doesn't give a shit.
Oh, don't make yourself into a pig, Kuno. You'll have to take me away.
The leaden silence fills the yard.
In it, you hear snow melting, dripping from the eaves. Someone closing a window. So that's what this is about.
Me and Kuno have discussed this. I promise I won't do that.
I don't believe you.
She disappears entirely behind the fence.
For once, the boy is lost for words. He turns completely red now, with splotches of white beginning to appear across his face. Use this momentary confusion to take control of the situation.
I need you to stop taking locusts from the traps. The cryptozoologists are trying to find something very important, and those locusts are the bait.
I don't give a shit. I don't need the locusts anyway. Shit is all lame now. C was right.
The girl's face appears again, above the fence, just long enough to make eye contact with Kuno.
I have to ask, what does the City of Locusts mean?
It don't mean anything. It's shit. Kuno just likes to focus. Kuno likes to concentrate on shit. Build shit when he's zipping hard. Fuck.
He turns his burning face up to the fallen snow.
Pig, you really shouldn't have fucked with Kuno City. Now it's all fucking lame.
What's going to happen to the locusts?
Kuno's gonna let the fucking locusts die.
Dark. Okay, now that's settled. I better be off.
The fuck are they trying to catch anyway? With the traps?
The Insulindian Phasmid. Later, Kuno.
The fuck out of here. Kuno's tired of this shit.
There's silence between the two children. They're not saying anything to each other, nor looking in each other's direction.
Slowly destroying their relationship. Okay, let's go back and talk to Lena and her husband. And then the Hardie Boys, because I was meant to be focusing on the story, I promise.
Oh, hello, sweetie.
Not him, must be the husband.
Hello, officer. I think I almost have it. A new trap design, that is. I know you're skeptical, but I have a good feeling about this.
I had a chat with this kid, Kuno. He promised to stop stealing your locusts.
So it was just a child.
He purses his lips, crestfallen.
Thank you for telling us, sweetie. This is good news, right? It means we can try again.
Something is secretly gnawing at her confidence. It's not this Kuno kid, or the missing locusts. It's something else.
Yeah, you're right. We just need to restock the empty trap. Then we'll need to inspect the traps one more time. And then maybe we can.
The aging cryptozoologist breaks into a hideous coughing fit.
Darling, I told you to take it easy. You're getting sick. Maybe it's time to go home.
You're right. We can come back next season, when it's warmer.
What we got? Damn it, maybe I can restock the trap for you. Let's be enthusiastic. We've come too far to quit. I'm going to restock the trap. Let's do this.
We are getting really carried away with this, aren't we? Fine. It's better than having these people get pneumonia on the coast. But after this...
Really? It's too much, officer.
He starts coughing again.
What Morel means is we're grateful for your help.
She nods to her husband.
Here's a fresh batch of locusts. They should slide right down the funnel. And thank you again. We will definitely mention you, should this lead to a discovery. I'm not talking co-discovery, of course, but...
Wow. Co-discovery? You'd be famous. You'd show them all. This does tingle the pleasure center. This would show them all. We need to get you on that list of discoverers. No question about that.
I'll get going. And screw the main quest. Let's go beta Phasmid. Come along, Kim. The Insulindian Phasmid waits for no man. I can actually remember where the road is. There we are. Right, that was the first trap.
The trap stands empty amongst the reeds. No insect sounds or movement around. Only the reeds' melancholy rustling.
I release the locusts into the empty trap.
The locusts, dazed from being transported, slowly begin to acclimate to their new surroundings. They're not really going to get the chance to get comfortable here.
Good. Now that's done. When do you think we will return to our impending apocalypse of a murder investigation? Don't answer that. It was a rhetorical question.
He doesn't want to. But if there is one more cryptozoological runaround, he must force the investigation back on track. This better be it.
Yeah. If there's a chance of finding a giant stick bug, I am going to completely ignore the investigation. Sorry, Kim. Kim does not understand what it is to be chaotic. I wonder where the husband's gone.
Hello, dear. It's good to see a familiar face.
The elderly woman smiles up at you hopefully. I restocked the empty trap. Where's Morel?
Thank you for doing that, dear.
She manages a smile for you.
Her smile is weary. Her earlier ebullience has left her.
Morel still isn't feeling well. I convinced him to stay at Gary's to get some rest. I'm afraid the cold has really gotten to him.
It's probably for the best. It's awfully cold out there in the reeds.
I'm sorry, dear. You've had to drudge through them so many times. Such is field work. A young person's game, as they say.
So who's going to check the traps?
Morel will eventually, or we'll talk Gary into going back out, perhaps.
The lieutenant stares at his shoe, caked in mud. He doesn't say anything.
Once more into the breach, then. I take it on with undue optimism.
That really is too much, sweetie. Thank you for your dedication, but I can see you're coming down with a cough yourself.
Very strange. Why is she not letting you do this? It's like she's given up.
Lena, what's wrong? You seem different.
Different? How?
You're not telling me the whole story.
I'm not. It's not that.
She doesn't know how to end the sentence. What is it?
It's a strange feeling. I haven't really told this to anyone, but you are a police officer.
And when a police officer asks, you must answer.
Do you ever wonder if some lovely story from your childhood is just that? A story? Or a dream? Seeing the Insulindian Phasmid was just a story I used to tell people. I didn't really think about whether it was real or not.
But Morel told me you'd seen it. You also told me.
Morel's so proud of it. He always tells everyone.
A terrible sting in the heart. Regret.
You seem to really believe it happened. Doesn't that count for something?
No, sweetie. There's more to it than that. Morel was so eager to believe my story was evidence of the Phasmid's existence, that I'm some queen of the cryptozoologists. That, and for years his belief made me believe too.
That I am a queen? An extraordinary witness to grace.
But now, we're both getting old, and he's still working himself sick out in those reeds looking for it. But what if I was just wrong? I think I was...
The lieutenant opens his notebook, but doesn't write anything.
Okay, first we will tell her that her marriage hasn't been a lie. Please don't screw this up.
An acorn is not the same as the tree. That requires time, diligence, and care.
And I need something good here.
All qualities these two seem to share in abundance.
Wrong or not, your relationship with Morel isn't just about the Phasmid.
But it is. We've spent years searching for the Phasmid, hunting it together. Without it, what are we? Just another pathetic old couple. If I hadn't led him down this path, he could have a steady job lecturing at a university.
Morel hated lecturing. You convinced him to do something real in this world.
But if the dream comes to naught, what good is it? No, the thing is...
She looks down at her legs.
I was a paraplegic before we met. He didn't know before I arrived. On our first date. If I weren't the queen of the cryptozoologists, if I didn't tell him that story...
He'd still be into you. That's not how these things work.
Maybe. But then why do I not dare tell him? I've wasted enough of your time with this drama. I really must stop talking about it lest I start crying and waste more of your time. What you have to know is the Insulindian Phasmid probably does not exist. Let us fools chase our ghosts. There are a million better things to do with your life.
To hell with this. I still believe you saw the Phasmid.
A true believer. Sometimes I still see it too. The real memory of it. How it was there. Not the memory of the memory, but it's so hard to tell the two apart.
Rising, unfolding from the reeds on a hot summer's day. Like a benevolent god.
Either way, I should go. Poor Morel is running a fever, and I need to get him home to Jamrock before we overstay our welcome with Gary.
Are you sure you don't need help getting to Gary's?
Oh no, thank you, but I can get there on my own. This old thing is gas-powered. And then a taxi home. It's not so bad.
You do that. I'll check the traps one more time.
Really?
Oh, sweetie. Please don't get stuck on a dream. Take it from me and Morel.
Can I have your address, just in case there's news?
Okay. It's 1113 Tabernacle Road. Jamrock, but...
A sigh. She doesn't think you'll need it.
It's been a pleasure, ma'am.
Likewise, sweetie. Thank you for everything. Truly. even though it turned out to be a...
Sentence remains unfinished.
A dream. A fool's hope. Say her lips move in silence. Like that, she drives off. The gas engine putters quietly as she gets to the doors, then pushes them open. Outside, the cold coastal wind blows.
We should go too.
Yada yada. Okay, let's go talk to Titus about what I just discovered. And take that money.
It's you again. What is it?
We know there's an 8th one of you. I found 8 sets of footprints, but there's only 7 of you. Where's the 8th Hardie Boy?
What are you talking about, madman? There's no 8th Hardie Boy. There's 7 of us and we're all here.
He sizes you up.
Or what? You want to be the 8th Hardie Boy? We ain't hiring.
He shakes his head.
Actually, boss, we've been talking and we think she could maybe...
This person Glenn wants to hire, he really respects her.
Shut the fuck up, Glenn!
I do the talking here. Now what the fuck do you want, cop?
So let me get this straight. There is an 8th Hardie Boy. It's a she, and you don't like us talking about her?
That's right. We're not talking about this. This is a private Hardie Boys matter. Nothing to do with your shit. End.
He points to the lieutenant.
You're not cops here. Don't go digging around if you don't want a bullet in the back of your head. I'm watching you.
Good. We are all watching each other. Officer, your question.
There's no point in pushing it further, he thinks. This is already a victory. We'll learn more about this 8th Hardie sooner or later.
Jesus Christ, still have no points in that. Right, let's take our leave for now. We can go and ask Klaasje about it too, I imagine.
I've got nothing
will you
to
tell
say
me?
to you. Why are you wasting your time?
Are you the Hardie girl?
I am not.
She says dryly.
You could be, Liz. You could be anything. You could even be a model.
Even a mod? Glenn, I went to law school. I am an attorney.
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
He's right, you know, you are very pretty.
The cold look in her eyes speaks louder than words. She is not amused.
Okay, I want to see what the
I am
other
not.
option
You
is
could
too.
be, Liz.
Even a mod?
He's right. With a face like that, she could be on the cover of Le Debutante International.
Get a grip, Glenn. She went to law school.
So fucking what? Lots of models are actually really smart people, fuckwad.
No, Glenn. They aren't.
Her tone is cold and uninvolved. Okay, let's try Klaasje. Someone's got to know about the Hardie girl. Maybe we can ask Klaasje if it's her.
This medicine cabinet is full of wares. Sheets of pills, haphazardly stacked, one on top of the other. There's also a toothbrush somewhere in there.
I look at the toothbrush.
It's been used quite a lot, but not for scrubbing blood off towels, or anything else interesting, it seems.
I look at the medications.
Pharmaceuticals line the shelves, sheet upon sheet of pill bottle next to pill bottle. Acetylic acid, APAP, eye drops, blood thinners.
There's quite the collection in here.
Anything of note?
I search the bottles.
Pill bottles rattle like bones as you search the cabinet. Paracetamol, histoperidol, something in a foreign language you can't read. Behind them, an unusually shaped nasal spray. Its label reads, Nacra.
What's Nacra?
An opioid receptor antagonist. It's used for diamorphine overdoses.
I search the pill sheets.
Among some foreign, probably Messinian or Gottwaldian, marked red blister packs you find. What do you find? This is going to take a little know-how.
Electrochemistry roll. Yeah, my electrochem is surprisingly good. Is there something more interesting here?
A bright orange bottle with peptide stamped on it. in sunny, happy letters. Jackpot, baby. That's the stuff you're looking for. Your palms begin to sweat just holding that little plastic container.
What's so exciting about this orange bottle?
It's speed, man. Just what you were looking for. They call it dextroamphetamine and talk about psychological disorders. But what we're seeing here is some scientifically advanced trucker speed.
Lieutenant, I also see a brand called Preptide.
Preptide, a euphemism for pharmaceutical amphetamine. Prescription speed.
The fuck are you waiting for? Let's get super fucking preppy.
Take it in secret. Low chance with interfacing. Okay, I'm gonna see if I can get my interfacing up since I fucked up by pointing out to Kim it was there. Me and my accursed need to share everything. So that was interfacing, wasn't it? Let's put my bright yellow gloves on. So that's reaction speed. Why do I never have the skills I actually want?
This medicine cabinet is stocked with There it is. The orange sun wearing blister pack.
My
You
odds
feel
still aren't
almost
good.
nostalgic for it.
Save the game first. I don't want to piss off Kim by taking drugs again in his presence.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with There it is. The orange sun wearing You dropped it. Smack.
Do. I want the speed,
This
but I do
medicine
not want
cabinet
Kim
is
to see it.
stocked with drugs. There it is. The orange sun wearing blister pack. You dropped it.
Do.
This medicine cabinet is stocked with There it is. The orange sun wearing Silently. The bottle slides into your palm. Then, as you turn, into your pocket. Feels so sleek and beautiful. You got it. Here comes the afterburner. Time to become a super detective again, Harry. Just put it in your sweaty little hand now.
The perfect crime. That's not what I was looking for. Let's put some better gloves on. The Electrochem gloves can come back. Where's my speed? What does it do? I can raise my physique with that. That might help me kick in the door upstairs. Woohoo! Psyche and motorics. Okay. Might be handy. Anyway, we haven't looked in our bathroom before. Come on, Kim, get out the door. There we go. Let's go up and see if Klaasje is the 8th Hardie Boy.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Nope.
The same small, heavy door. No lock in sight.
Nope. Yeah, I thought we were onto something with that Hardie Boy stuff.
This window is
The suspicious window still won't do anything. Okay, so we gotta figure out more about this Hardie Boy. Could Everett tell us anything, do we think? What do I need for that role to...
It's you again.
Convince
What is
Titus to play ball. Yeah, let me see the roll, Titus. Okay, so it's a rhetoric roll. I think I do have a point to spend. Let's go see if I can spend it on rhetoric. Okay, we can put a point into rhetoric. I'm still not going to be terribly good at it, but let's look at my gear as well. So, +1 to rhetoric. see what's the best we can do. That's minus rhetoric. Never what you need. Make sure nothing lowers my rhetoric as well. Yep, that does. Alright. Put any other coat on. Plus rhetoric. Okay. Again, just gonna... I'm not gonna keep hammering this roll, but... just in case it punches me or anything.
What is it?
Titus, I've poured some points into rhetoric. Will you talk to me? 42. Not bad, not bad. Let's try.
I don't know what went wrong the last time. You have so many good ideas here. Make them all see they're puppets on a string.
You guys are always telling me they're good and then they aren't.
Those are the other guys. My shit is solid gold. You can trust me.
Can I? All those deers look really bad.
Oh, you don't like these arguments? Let's see you come up with your own then. Come on. Everyone's waiting. Where are they? Why is Goldmouth mean to him? Something is wrong. It doesn't look like he's succeeding.
Look, I know what's going on. I've been wrong too. I got this fucking dark shadow over my heart.
What the hell are you talking about?
I got fucked by some chick. Fucked real bad.
Look around, cop. These men.
I don't know, boss. I'm always up for another suicide attempt.
Yeah, me too. I'm always up to see a cop cry.
You won't hear it. That's enough for the circus now, officer. Let's do procedural questions, or even, why not take a little breather?
These working class oafs don't know how to talk about it.
Fuck it, let's try loading. I know I said I wouldn't. But my odds were so high there, it's annoying. Okay, Titus, you're gonna answer this question. Come on. Come on.
I don't know what...
Crying out loud. It's almost a 50-50 chance of passing that roll.
Yes?
What is with
Behind
that window?
the dock workers, a ceiling height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. The men are talking, but you swear you hear those black limbs tap on the window as the wind blows outside.
I squint.
There's a little slide panel up there to let some air in. No need to open it in spring. It's still too cold outside. You're not so sure about that. Somehow you just know there's something out there, behind the glass.
There's something out there.
Yeah, your mother.
There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key.
Someone's hid a key in the bush. I point at the window.
Huh?
The big guy looks behind him. Titus, can you hand that key to me, please?
I'm not your janitor, cop. I don't even know what you're talking about. There's nothing there.
If he says it's there, it's there.
The lieutenant takes off his glasses to clean them, then puts them back on. Can you just let me slide by so I can grab the thing?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The Hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you.
I take the key.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you, I nod to the old man.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the Union box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I look at the key in my hand. I wonder what it does open.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
Okay, Titus, we're looking in that room, and then we're going to see if you'll actually talk to me. Okay, blue door.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimple lock. It's painted blue.
I try the workshop spare key on the door.
The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages? No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop. Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you?
What do you mean?
Nothing. You're right. Get in there. Deep. Invade every personal space. Break every lock.
It's my duty as a cop to investigate every square inch of the world.
Attaboy, the world's secrets were made for you. They wait patiently for you to uncover them.
Oh, have we got a new thought? I haven't dabbled in them for ages. Let's learn about the Jamrock Shuffle. And we're in. Long fucking last. This pinball says Franco-Generian. The theme is horses and swords. This pinball is White Deora. The black glass shows a female figure in mourning. Note, NB, the spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window.
Over there, in the corner.
The pinball machine?
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
Jimmy, you seen what I'm seeing? I point to the machine.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic.
Wait, you played it?
A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Let's take a closer look.
Ah, great.
The lieutenant sighs.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin-operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
Lean closer to read the text.
Above the painting of a moustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
I inspect the playing field.
The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
What's with all the goats?
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Fair enough. Let's insert a coin.
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease.
We actually got a trophy for that called Gertie Ball is Lit. This game's quite hard to figure out how to get trophies for as well. That was random.
Go, Finger Boy.
I feel sorry for the gods. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
Wait, what kind of guy was he then?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist.
A racist mountaineer?
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
That is not cool.
He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
He nods at the machine. I'm getting pretty good at this.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
I concentrate and aim for the narrow passage.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something blasts. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid, nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. Lucky goats. The fog looks soft and inviting. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Kim, it can be done. Just watch.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake, and then it's all over.
With automation-like precision, you keep the final goat ball in play, reacting to the tiniest stimuli, floating in the flow state. The fog is clearing, and suddenly, the old speaker crackles. Hardie Boy is lit.
Huh?
A panel opens up at the top of the playfield, and a new ball charges downhill. It's larger than the goats and matte black. Cornelius spell the white letters running across the equator. So violent is its descent, it immediately knocks the last goat into the abyss. Then proceeds to bounce all across the board as if carried by some demonic otherworldly inertia. High score, announce the speakers, and the whole machine lights up. Then the flippers retract, leaving a perfect opening for the Hardie Boy to join the goats backstage. Cornelius vanishes, and the machine powers off.
That's amazing.
I think I won, Kim.
You didn't just win. No one I know has ever beaten Hardie's goats. That is a monumental achievement, Detective.
Who's the king of pinball, Kim? I hold out my fist.
Congratulations, Your Highness. That was really impressive. The machine needs a good service before anyone else can even attempt it again.
It's time to move on.
Yes. Good times.
Once again, the machine becomes one with the dust and the darkness. Life has left it, unlikely to ever return. The Jamrock Shuffle. In a way, yes, you are treasure hunting. Most officers from Precinct 41 do what is called the Jamrock Shuffle, cracking open containers. Most of them are from Jamrock or Coal City, the poorest parts of Revachol, that also overlap with the network of royal catacombs called Le Royaume, just beneath the streets. As children, you would all go underground, hoping to find treasure, and come back with a rat's tail. Or a used needle. That playful curiosity must still be in you. Who knows? Maybe one day the Orbe de Montagne, the Holy Scepter, and the Cocaine Skull will all be yours.
What's my bonus? Find better loot in locked containers. Sure, why not? Okay, let's keep exploring.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
I run my finger across the dust of white Deora.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's white Deora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme. Probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
How about we fire up these bad boys and play some ball?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
He looks away.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
Sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
What about that other one, the Franco-Generian ball? Do you want to play that?
No.
Okay, let's give it a go. Kim Kazuragi.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi? A.K.A. Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi?
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, takes off his glasses and then cleans them.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, a.k.a. the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
Wait, but I still can't seem to remember anything else.
Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman.
You don't seem to really like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights and to fantastique, science-fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame.
Then why are you called Pinball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
How did you?
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
You were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
So that's why he doesn't want to talk to Kuno. Trauma and stressor disorder from being a juvie cop.
So that's why you don't want to talk to Kuno?
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Don't worry, I'll keep calling you Kim. Let's be nice to him.
Lieutenant Kitsuragi is good too. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Okay, let's continue my sweep of the secret path.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside.
I look in.
Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
I look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descend, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
It says the last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
88? This elevator was maintained a long time ago.
At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
I wonder what it was used for.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. I close the doors and go up. Okay, we didn't die. Small window taped shut with black plastic. You can't see outside. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Where even am I? What am I behind? Oh, is that Klaasje's room? Are we coming around the other side of the locked door? Schematics for a pinball machine, futurism themed. The pinball maker's coat. The pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or 2.
3 weeks maximum, from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
He looks at you.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Okay, but what does it mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Klaasje's room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Okay, let's have a closer look then. I crouch to study the footprints.
Large prints, most likely made by boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
The prints look like one person went back and forth.
Between that and that.
He points to the elevator doors in the corner and to the barred door. This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the workers' boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
I get up.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Oh, I just noticed we got a level. Anyone want to level for me? Sorry, I picked rhetoric last time to try and win that role I still haven't won. But I'll let you guys pick this one. As always, any of the little clear diamonds are ones that you can pick. I think info's... You saying inland info? Yep. Cool. More points for Inland Empire. The madness continues. I'm just going to put my Fuck the World jacket back on while I'm looking at it. Ooh. That's my... Ooh, my pinball coat's quite cool. Very gumshoe. But it doesn't beat Fuck the World. Oh, no, that's the other one. That's our piss redacted. Let's Fuck the World. I like Fuck the World better. There we are. Okay, let's see what else we got in here. There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Klaasje's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
Boring footprints. I want to jump to sensationalist conclusions.
What were those people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. They're sensationally unnatural. If your mesolimbic reward pathway were to venture a guess, One of the bottles is probably being put somewhere it doesn't belong.
I finished the thought. Before I try and break down the door, let's just make sure there was nothing around the other side. No, there wasn't. Let's see if we can open the door from this side.
This is the barred door you tried to kick in before.
So what's on the other side?
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Klaasje about this route. See how she reacts?
Yes, it is quite likely that we will re-emerge on the M plane. Brace for psychokinetic impact. Or the roof.
I unbar the door. Surprise!
I was just thinking, what a nice evening it is for taking part in a murder investigation.
There was a bit where we could talk to her about the door previously.
Yeah?
You've got quite the collection of prescription drugs down there.
Thank you. I've put a lot of time and effort into it.
She says without any discernible irony.
Technically, possession of narcotics is legal in Revachol, but you should still reprimand her. No, don't listen to the stiff. Be cool.
It was quite impressive. How did you amass such a hoard?
With money, sir. It's not exactly the NT-star size caboodle I intend for it to be one day, but it's getting there.
The collection includes Nacra, an opioid antagonist.
Comes in handy when you've done too many opioids.
Is that something that happens to you often, miss?
His tone isn't aggressive, just inquisitive.
Better safe than sorry.
She takes a drag and smiles. You seem to have, amongst other things, Preptide.
Oh, yes. One of my favorites. It cures many ailments.
Like what?
Like not being able to stay up for 36 hours. Not being happy. It cures those ailments. It's just a merit speed molecule, basically.
I'm not going to show her because then Kim will see. As far as that goes.
Very funky.
That door there, did you know it leads downstairs to an elevator?
I did not. Mystery solved then. I kept wondering where it led.
There may be more to this mystery at some later time. She's holding back. Let's make a mental note for now.
There's a peephole on the other side looking into your bedroom.
A peephole? You mean like a hole in the wall?
Yes, looking into your bedroom, miss.
The lieutenant points to her window. The unmade bed is visible through the glass.
Okay.
There's a pause as she processes the information.
A jitter of fear and disgust moves through her body, beginning from her shoulders and ending in her hips. The cigarette tastes foul to her now.
Do you think this is somehow connected to me?
It could be connected.
Okay. Do you have any way of knowing how long it has been there?
Unfortunately, no. But if I were to guess, long enough. The perforation is under the bookshelf on your wall. It shouldn't be hard to cover with some tape.
If it's recent, who do you think made it?
Shit. I don't know. Maybe it's been there for a long time. Maybe the local kids use it or something. I don't know. I'll be fucking covering it up with a lot of tape, that's for sure. Was there anything else back there?
There were tracks on the floor. They were recent.
Huh. This isn't good.
She feels like quarry, encircled. Her eyes dart to the door.
It's an old pinball workshop. The room back there, the place used to be a pinball arcade.
Okay. I'm glad someone's had fun.
That's all for now.
Mm-hmm.
She flicks ash from her cigarette absent-mindedly.
She's lost in thought. Eyes narrowed. Forehead furrowed.
Okay.
It is.
The lieutenant, he finds the
Just gonna keep
answer
saying things to
unsatisfying.
see if she has some more things that we haven't talked about.
I'm win.
How long?
About 4 months. Funky town.
There's nothing more, is there?
Oh my. A squall of secrets.
It's hard to contaminate such a... It's mostly about the lack of cleaning services.
Yeah.
Alright.
Okay. Let's try the Hardie Boys again.
This window is...
I still want to know if there's something to do with that, just 'cause it's still highlighted yellow. Well, at least I think that's all the secret areas in the Whirling-in-Rags done now. Okay, Hardie Boys, we're gonna go and try that roll again. Who's at the bar? I won't focus on him anyway.
I've got nothing to say to you.
No, you don't. Titus does. Come on, Titus, we want to pass this roll this time.
It's you again. What is it?
Come on.
I don't know what went wrong.
Back to trying to win this roll. Oh, I've taken off my rhetoric coat as well, haven't I? I had a rhetoric coat. Or at least I think. Just wearing a different coat so I don't have
It's
the
you
penalty.
Again. What is it?
I don't know what.
What is it with that roll? How many times I've failed it now? Oh yeah, rhetoric coat back on. Let's be a gumshoe. I look proper in that coat.
It's you again. What is it?
I don't know what.
Fuck's sake. How is this the hardest roll in the game? I've passed ones with 3% before.
It's
Come on,
you again.
Titus.
What is it?
Convince Titus he's being manipulated? Bad idea. Bringing her up will do no good. You should know by now. Titus will never falter.
One of his boys will.
Just remember, it's about more than Klaasje. It's about these men and Martinez. Their district. Their responsibility. Outside in the evening light, ruined and old, shadows lengthen on the pavement. A distant gunshot.
Well, that's it then. Case closed. We're going home, Kim.
Huh?
The lieutenant raises his brow.
He'll get it. Go on.
Write it down, Kim. In Martinez, they just kill you because they don't like you.
Got it. Kill you because they don't like you. All because...
It's all just because of some chick.
Bring that up one more time, and you won't get to write that report.
The man's fists under the table are balled. You can tell from his neck and shoulders. He means it.
Yes, I understand, Alain. That's your name, right, Alain? You'll kill us. That's what they do in the Wild North.
They hang you just like in the Dark Ages and make a display of your corpse.
It wasn't that. It wasn't... We just couldn't get him down, okay?
That's it. That's the weak one. You flushed him out. Now go in for the...
Officer, you will be next if you don't shut up.
The old man reaches for his belt, but his voice is strangely calm.
Firearm. A Glass 08 or a 38 caliber pistol. Either is small enough for you to have missed. He's onto you. He knows what you're trying to do.
I turn to Angus. Oh, what? You're gonna kill me like you killed him? For no fucking reason?
We didn't kill him. We didn't even hang him. He was dead when...
He takes a breath, wheezing.
Shut up, Angus!
Oh, he was dead before you hanged him.
Fatty! Say one more thing to the cops and I'll...
Dennis, stand down, or I'll beat your head in. Theo, take your hand off the belt. This isn't 31. I've got this under control.
The room feels so quiet that you can hear Angus wheeze.
Angie, where's your goddamn inhaler? You sound like you're dying.
I left it home. I can't get it. I'm too fucked. I'm sorry.
Why are you so fucking fat, Angus? Now it's all pointless. Because of you. You wasted my time. I told you, Titus. I told you just give her up.
Lizzie, your help is no longer needed here. Go tell Everard.
Fine. I'll tell him. After a long walk along the coast.
She walks off without looking back.
What just happened between these two? You're in. He's all yours. Questions?
I'm sorry I made you guys fight.
Me too.
Kim, we did it.
The lieutenant gives a smile only you can see.
So you didn't kill him. He was already dead.
He nods.
You hanged the corpse to cover up the real cause of death. The bullet in his head.
Another nod.
Why?
'Cause the girls asked us to. They were in some shit.
Did she kill him?
Cop, I have no idea. The girl says she didn't.
He doesn't think she did. Or at least he hopes she didn't.
So what happened Sunday night?
Klaasje came down. She seemed really out of it. Drugged up, even more than usual. Bug-eyed and gurning, you know? Not in a fun way. It looked like she'd redosed after something went down. I've seen that look before. She was scared. I knew someone had died.
How do you know?
I've done this job for 10 years. I've seen it before. It's the politician in the motel room with the dead hooker scenario. Only in reverse.
Good analogy, boss.
The rat-faced man snickers.
You don't get to talk yet, Shanky. You're still on the bench. And you keep taking it easy too, Angus.
He turns back to me. What happened then?
We went upstairs. Sure as day the Merc was dead. There was a bullet hole through the window. Fucking dirty sheets and bottles everywhere. Tibbs patched the window. And the corpse. We hanged.
Who's Tibbs? The 8th Hardie?
Nah, he's my brother. He's in the window replacement business.
Right now, he's grateful he hasn't gotten his brother into this mess.
If Klaasje didn't kill him, why the cover-up?
You may have noticed our girl's in some shit of her own.
Yeah, I told you she's not what she seems. She's had special training for something shady. Oh no, let's go with the other one. The other one sounds better. Actually, I didn't notice anything. What kind of shit we talking about?
That can't show up on police radar kind. There are people after her. From the old world. Where she came from.
These people, who are they?
They're powerful. Connected to the moral intern. She's clearly afraid for her life. Says if she showed up in your systems, she'd be ghosted away.
And why would you help someone like that? By taking on a murder?
Why would I? I guess we abide all sorts of runaways and losers here. It's a Martinez thing.
So who killed the Merc? Any leads?
Not yet. Just some ideas. She says the shot came from outside, behind the window somewhere. So that's a clue.
What's she thinking?
I'm thinking someone's past caught up with them. Either hers or his.
Hers, you mean?
I mean the people after Klaasje. Maybe the shot missed. Maybe it was meant for her.
I like that. Been thinking the same thing myself.
And you had ideas about his past too?
My dude. One of those mercenary buddies of his could have done it. They got guns. Training. Years of bad blood, probably. Or it could have been someone else from Crenell.
He pauses to think.
Tell you what I'd do. Check out the coast for vantage points. Maybe consult with a ballistics buddy of mine. That's what I'd do. If I wasn't too busy doing this clown dance with you.
He's calm now. Threw all that turmoil away and became himself again.
Whose idea was it to hang him anyway? Was it hers?
In a manner of speaking.
What do you mean?
We had help from another girl. It was her idea to hang him, and I liked it for political reasons. It sent a good message.
It's her, isn't it? The missing 8th Hardie. That's the other girl.
The big guy turns to Glenn, who's about to say something. The blonde shuts his mouth before a word escapes.
I'll say it again. All the Hardie Boys are right here, cop. That woman is just affiliated with the Hardie Boys. You don't know her, anyway.
Understood, but can you tell me anything about her? Name, current location?
Nope. You're not getting to her. It's Klaasje you want to talk to.
Thank you for this, Titus. I'll go talk to her for the last time.
You do that. Hey, cop. Before you go...
Suddenly, the wind picks up outside. You hear it rattling the large windows in their frames. It carries newspapers, circles the Whirling-in-Rags in a warm column.
She, Klaasje, came to Martinez to hide. Many of us did. This is where you wash up when there's nowhere left to go. The Union takes you in. Now, she refused that protection. But...
Still, after all this headache...
But you would still prefer if we didn't take her away.
That's right. If we didn't take care of the people who end up here, this place would just be a couple of ruins and some cargo containers.
We'll take that into account.
The lieutenant slides his notebook into his coat pocket. He turns to leave. Okay, back to Klaasje. Favorite jacket back on. Can we look at that replaced window yet?
This window is pristine on the inside.
No, not yet, we can't.
It's always good to see you.
She cracks a weary smile, leaning back against the railing.
Something in her demeanor has changed. She's tired, consigned to her fate, to being here with you and what's to come.
The Hardie Boys told me what really happened.
I understand.
She puts her coffee mug on the table. You don't look surprised. Were you expecting this?
I knew there was a chance you'd get them to tell you. It's what you do. You're the police. For what it's worth, I'm sorry for wasting your time.
If you knew we would find out eventually, why did you waste our time?
Because of the Hardies. I couldn't just dispense with them. They were only trying to help me. Out of the shit I'd gotten into.
That's not a good enough reason.
You're right. There's more.
More?
You answer to the coalition government, and by extension, the moral intern.
She reaches for a new cigarette.
Briefly glancing over her shoulder to the sea, as she's done time and time again, where the cold oceanic expanse lies, and behind it, another world.
Is that why you're looking over your shoulder? You're afraid of the moral intern?
You share a database with them. You send people to their courts.
She lights the cigarette. What's going on? What did you do?
Just business. But bad business for some people in the moral intern. If I show up in your records, officer, they will find me. They will...
What happens if they do?
They will kill me, sir. If you file my name, take me in for questioning, enter me into the moral intern mill, well, then I'm fucked. For nothing. This murder didn't have anything to do with me.
Why'd you have these people after you?
It's not nice, but it's not illegal. Not here in Revachol, or even in Oranje.
What exactly did you do?
Industrial espionage. I joined a business collective with the intention of betraying them. I did my job well enough to be asked to do it again. With a bigger company. The kind you really, really don't fuck with. I took their ledgers, 2 decades worth of accounting.
I need the names of the companies involved and who hired you.
He taps his notebook.
The job was Louisduin County Savings Bank. They sound small, but they're part of the Louis Scott conglomerate. That was the second job. The first was some printer company. You wouldn't know them.
But she really destroyed them. She still feels it.
As to who hired me for the job, I don't know. But they're after me too. Along with Louis Scott and their friends in the MI. Once you're done in the competitive intelligence circuit, you don't have allies. You're radioactive.
I'm sure there are people who've done much worse than that.
Sure. I'm not a war criminal, but it was bad. People lost their jobs. Good people, too, not just C-suite.
She shakes her head at the thought.
A lot of people got hurt. But that's just more of my shit you shouldn't have to deal with. You're solving a murder.
That can wait. Look into her eyes. There's more.
What did you do?
One of them killed themselves because of me.
That's not easy to deal with.
How do you deal with anything? It's all just... How do you do it?
By not remembering a single goddamn thing.
That would do the trick, yes.
She has almost devoured the cigarette she lit. She looks at it sadly. What happened here the night that he died?
We were there. Together. In bed, I mean.
Tell me exactly what happened.
Okay. He was in a kneeling position. He had just entered me. I was on my back, looking at him. I heard the window behind me shatter, and I turned to look. There was a hole in the glass. I turned back to him. His eyes were looking through me, and his mouth was open. Dumb. I could see. I could...
A great pain moves through her, a dark and indefinite wave. She continues in spite of it.
I knew he was dead. Before he fell down on top of me.
You were right. He did enjoy the moment of his death.
Yeah, let's not say that. Then what happened?
He was heavy. I pushed him off and he fell to the floor. There. He only had his boots on. I bit the pillow, not to scream, then ran downstairs.
There's a long pause. She just stands there, arms at her sides.
I waited for the second shot to come. For me. I thought there would be one. It never came.
She's forgotten about her cigarette. The butt has burned right down to her fingernails.
I'm sorry this happened to you.
So am I.
She looks down. Her cigarette has singed her fingers.
She throws it away and immediately proceeds to light another one.
What time was this? When did it happen? It would help us if you could be as precise as possible.
11:30 to 12:15. I don't know the exact time. Around midnight.
It's okay. Were you inebriated?
Not as much as usual. He'd done a line, plus other things. I was drinking.
Wait. Titus said she was gurning her jaw off, much more than usual.
Titus said you looked pretty high.
Oh, yeah. I did one of his lines, just to clear my head.
Good thinking. Clear your head. You should clear your head. Get into his mindset.
Did you hear or see the shooter in the course of this?
No.
What did you do then?
Nothing. I was trapped. I was stuck in my room downstairs. I got some clothes on and crawled back up, drew the blinds. Blood was coming from his mouth. Not a lot. Just a little. He was still on the floor, slouched. I couldn't be there with him anymore. So I ran down and out of my room, into the hallway, down the stairs. I knew there would be people there.
Run, woman. Run past them and out into the streets where it's dark and people move. To the lorries at the intersection, as far as you can.
Why didn't you run away from here? As a matter of fact, why are you still here now?
I already ran. I ran from an entire Isola. I can't run any further. Not with these people. This is as far as it gets.
What happened after you ran downstairs?
Sylvie was tending the bar. A lot of people were there. The Hardies were at the table in front of the stage. I think the Union box was full. Ruby was there too. They were having such a good time. I sat down and they all welcomed me. I didn't even have to say anything. Ruby knew something was wrong.
Ruby?
Before we continue, who is Ruby?
Ruby. You know, the leader.
The leader? Of what?
The Hardie Boys.
She says it as though it's self-evident. I thought Hardie was the leader of the Hardie Boys.
Well, Nominally, yes. Ruby's the one they go to when things happen, like things they need taken care of. She's the organizer.
This Ruby, in her phrasing, is entrusted with great power. She trusts her. So do the others.
Okay, let's go on. What then?
Well, Ruby said let's talk upstairs. I showed her the room. I've known these people since December. They know my situation, that I can't leave a paper trail. Ruby was the first one I told. She said she'd take care of this. It's what she does, you know, take care of things. I helped her get the body to the bathroom. We used a belt to pull him up under the shower, to keep him upright.
To mislead you, they were tampering with the body.
To produce lividity, matching a hanging?
Yes.
We completely missed the tampering. Looks like you got there in time. What was this, 20 minutes after death?
Oops.
About 20, yes. Ruby explained it would make the blood... You know what he does.
She looks at the ground, raises her light brown eyes to meet yours. And then what did you do?
Ruby went outside to talk to Titus and the boys. I was just looking at Lely in the bathroom. I had to put his clothes back on. His armor, too. It was tough, but I've seen him take it off and put it on many times. It took Ruby maybe half an hour to come back with Titus. I'd gotten him ready by then. They carried him out. I knew what they were going to do. Make it look like a hanging. Ruby said they would.
What did you do while they were hanging him?
Ruby said to wait here. She also said I wouldn't see her for a while. That we should lay low or something. So I did.
This Ruby, where is this Ruby now?
I don't know. I haven't seen her since.
We will need to take this question to the Hardie Boys.
What happened? Did you hear a gunshot?
When he was shot? I may have. I don't know. I couldn't hear anything over the glass exploding.
The gunshot wasn't that loud. This is something to keep in mind when assessing the distance of the shot.
Did you kill Lily?
What? Why would I put myself through this? Insanity. Get myself cornered like this.
There's a silence.
He wouldn't have died if it weren't for me. I know that. But I would never hurt him.
Rage? Who knows the dark currents where lovers go? All kinds of crazy things happen when drugs are involved. Sweet, sweet drugs. It could have been a desire murder. Maybe an act of jealousy. Now you guys suddenly have theories pouring out, when they're obviously just stabs in the dark.
It's okay if you did it in self-defense.
I did not kill him to defend myself from rape. I told you before. That wasn't what happened.
Downstairs people have this crazy idea that you did kill him.
I'm sad to hear that. They must have said it in some fit of frustration or under pressure. They couldn't have meant it. I've talked to them after it happened. No one has implicated me.
She's getting scared now. Of you. The downstairs people. All of it.
Who amongst us, having been in love, can say that they haven't thought about it?
What? Fucking themselves over for no reason? This is not what happened, officer.
Desire drives people loco.
She simply shakes her head.
You have the training for it. I can see it in your posture, your shoulders.
The work I did, they don't just send you in with no training. Corporate security is a thing. But I'm not a trained sambal fighter. I've never needed it outside the gym.
Drugs were an integral part of your relationship. Perhaps they contributed towards its end.
What does that mean?
Do drugs make you aggressive?
No. People don't take drugs to kill each other. They take them to feel okay with each other. I thought you Ravishol people would be more enlightened on this. I'm sorry, officer. I'm under some stress here.
Okay, I'd like you to answer some other questions, miss.
Like what?
Could the people after you have killed him?
That's the first thing that went through my head when I heard the glass break.
And?
I thought they'd found me. They've killed him to punish me. All last week, I've tried not to talk to anyone or be seen with anyone.
She looks at her cigarette.
So they wouldn't be hurt. I've come to understand, however, this is paranoia. What happened didn't have anything to do with me.
It probably didn't.
Or I don't know anything anymore. All I do is wait here.
She looks at the table.
We can't go after Loose Cap. Not yet. There are other, saner leads.
I don't ask you to, Lieutenant. If there's one thing I know, it's that you'll get nothing from there.
When was the window changed? I point to it.
Last week. Angus and Titus's brother, I think he's called Tibbs, took care of it.
Why did you call the cops if you're hiding?
Because I'm an idiot.
The answer comes fast.
Which is an indicator of truth.
I don't think so. Why'd you do it?
You have to understand, the people around here, no one was making the call, and he kept rotting. And then they picked his clothes off, and that little fucker threw stones at him. He kept throwing stones at him for 3 days. I could hear the thud. Thud. So I called you. I hope with all my heart it's not the last thing I do in Ravishol.
Oh God, that was a lie too. Who made the call then? Don't be paranoid, man. It's unbecoming of a police officer, and it makes you sweat.
I think we're done here for now.
She nods, silently. She doesn't even smoke, just picks up the cold coffee and holds it in her hands.
The lieutenant glances at you and then the door.
He's thinking, are we done here? Or should we arrest her? She's a flight risk and she lied to you. She should be taken into custody. No, that won't be necessary. Just leave her alone. She's been through enough. She doesn't need this police brutality. This guy won't budge. You have to wake Multiface up, forcefully, if you want to continue pushing her.
Might as well give it a go.
Who? What? Dear Lord, you've been lied to. She could have killed her lover and lied to everyone. She's not the most fair and just at all. She's smoke and mirrors and will-o-wisps. She probably didn't give you her real name either. Why would she? Arrest her immediately, before she further entangles you in her web of lies. Take it easy. Don't overcompensate with this course correction. Ask questions first. See?
I turn to the lieutenant. Kim, why have we not arrested her yet?
There may be grounds here, at least for an extended detention.
A little whimper. The young woman hears you. She's looking around.
You know, I think you didn't make that call to the station.
I did. What is this? I called your desk or whatever it is. The numbers are all over town. Call 8-100-2 for emergencies. There was an older woman on the other end. It sounded like she was smoking. She took my complaint. She coughed.
Anyone could know that, sire, by looking around and calling the desk. I don't believe a single word she says.
What time did you make the call?
Thursday night. It was late, sometime after 12.
It checks out.
Your real name isn't Klaasje Amandu.
I agree. You wouldn't give us your real name, not when people are after you.
Okay.
Her voice cracks suddenly like there's a garrote around her neck.
Tighten it. You've got her.
All out of lies now, huh?
Okay. Yes. It's not my name.
You admit it?
You log your work every week. It's all transmitted to Common, sir. I couldn't just beg you not to enter my name. So I lied. Like I lied before. Like I did at LCSB. I have to lie all the time. I'm so tired of it.
Was that passport bullshit too? The passport you keep hidden?
No. It's submerged in a plastic buoy on the coast, in the reeds. It just doesn't say Klaasje Amandu. It says Anouk Mea Smit.
Falsified documents?
Passport and visa. Given to me by my employer. I can't even use them. My employer probably leaked the name, Mea Smit, to hurt me.
Why would they do that?
I didn't show up to a rendezvous. They don't take that lightly. I didn't show up because I was afraid they'd do something to me. The job was finished. I'm just a liability now.
She fears an arrest right here and now. This has been an awful turn of events for her.
Where is this boy?
West of the boardwalk, in the reeds. On the coast there. I put it there when I first arrived. Haven't been there since. I'm not sure I could even find it now. It's useless.
The wind rises, so do the hairs on your back. Somewhere west, small bubbles rise from a plastic ball floating in the water. Rusty, the color of oversteeped tea.
What's happening?
Long, spindly arms are spinning the boy around, turning it, inspecting it like a magic 8-ball, trying to find a way to snap it open.
Nothing is useless.
West of the boardwalk in the reeds. We'll have to check this boy out.
The lieutenant makes a note of it.
You're welcome to it. It's in the reeds northwest of here, past a broken sewage pipe, right near the waterline.
Tell me your real name.
It's Katarzyna Klaasje.
Finally we meet, Katarzyna Klaasje.
She nods. Her round eyes meet yours. They seem moist from the wind on the roof.
You're probably not even Mizoranier 37, are you?
I am. They can never take my sash and my scepter from me.
Yes, they can, for lying. She nods, her back straight, ready for whatever is next.
Devil woman.
What?
What have I told you? You're under arrest, Katarzyna Klaasje.
But I haven't done anything. Anything illegal.
Failure to aid a police investigation. Fucking mind games. Enough. That's right, gang. Stern and merciless now. Stern and merciless as we reel her in.
Failure to aid a police officer. You'll waste our time in a time-critical investigation.
The lieutenant produces a pair of handcuffs.
Please, no.
Her eyes become round with fear. She tries to back further off.
I think I know who did it. Who shot Lely. I can tell you. I can help you.
What do you know? Who shot him?
She's silent for a second, as if looking into herself for certainty. Then, in a hushed voice, she says, gearing up for this betrayal is hard for her.
Ruby.
Why do you think it was her?
She has this thing for me. Ever since I met her and the boys downstairs. She's been pretty frank about what she wants.
What she's saying is... sex.
Sex?
And more. I made the mistake of confiding in her. I told her I was on the run. She started protecting me. It became an unhealthy relationship. When I started spending time with Lely, she told me to end it. Said there would be shit if I didn't. It was not a good meeting. We stopped talking after that, but...
I don't understand. What exactly in your relationship made you think she is romantically interested in you?
She said she's in love with me. She even asked me to run away with her when I told her I'm a fugitive. She started developing notions about our relationship.
And you led her on?
The lieutenant narrows his eyes.
A little. I was flattered, you know? But then I had to let her off, and it was not easy. I came to regret being friendly with her. We maybe kissed, nothing more.
Sounds like she was fixated on you.
This is just an assumption.
I know what it sounds like. That's why I didn't want to tell you before. But she knew what had happened when I came downstairs. Somehow, she knew Lely was dead. She wasn't surprised at all. When we came up here, she was calm as a stone, too. She cleaned it all up like she had a plan.
When Ruby said there would be shit happening if you didn't end your relationship with the deceased, was she threatening you?
She came over one night, drunk, said she'd turn my life into a living hell. I've been threatened before, so I can tell when someone knows how to do it. And she's a pro. She must be. To keep the Hardies in line. I tried severing ties with her after that. I thought it had worked, but...
She looks through the window of her room.
Some of that fear is still with her. She exhales sharply. What are you talking about? She's afraid you'll arrest her.
And how could she have killed him?
You said there was a secret route there, right? She could have come up through there, then taken this shot, right here, where I stand. It was too dark outside. I wouldn't have seen her.
Then slipped back downstairs without anyone noticing. That is possible.
Interesting theory. Did she know that door exists? Had you been out there with her?
Yes. She's been up here many times. She used to come to drink on the roof when,
The young woman falls silent. Her mouth moves without sound. What is it?
The peephole. My bed is right next to... She would have seen us.
You mean to suggest she made it?
No. No. Why would she do that to herself? No, I just remembered you told me about it, and...
She's not really sure. It was right above the bed. She could have seen all sorts of things from there. Don't let your imagination run wild here, sire. Keep it on track. Okay. And what? Arrest the liar. Why? She told us some pretty interesting things there. Don't arrest her. Push her a bit more, but then let her off. That Ruby theory was solid. And she's beautiful.
Who?
Her. Stop letting her distract you.
That's good, but I think we should take you in. Just in case.
Still? After all this, sir, please. It's a shitty world, and I know I'm shitty too. I know. But I don't deserve to be sent to the moral intern and ground into paste just because I disturbed the sanctity of accounting. That's some multinational...
She's gearing up for a last stand. This is it.
What do you deserve, then?
I don't know. To spend my days with smoke, drink and dance, wallowing in shit. Just like everyone else. You have those station calls, right? Where I have to show up at the station or I'll become a fugitive. You can write me one. You don't have to take me in right now. I promise I won't go out anymore at night. I'll be right here. I know you can do that. Just let me come in on my own. In 2 months, or maybe even 1 month. That's all I need.
You do have the form.
He looks at your ledger.
That's it. I'm calling it. Kim is beyond compromised. Definitely, sire.
What will have changed in 2 months or 1 month?
Everything could change. This city, the extradition rules, the people after me could be in jail. Or maybe Revachol.
There is desperation there, in that silence. A cornered animal looking for a way out.
Maybe Revachol could be free. I could be tried in a free Revachol. An independent state that doesn't hand its detainees over to the moral intern.
A free Revachol. There is a low, distant rumble on the motor tracks. A great machine shaking the pillars down south. Electricity runs up your spine.
I find that hard to believe, miss.
The handcuffs jingle in his hand. What was that feeling?
It's coming.
I also find it hard to believe.
Don't. The world can change. It has changed before.
That's not the answer she was hoping for. Thought that you were some kind of patriot or communard, did she? This was her last card. There is nothing more she can say. The final decision is yours. You alone stand on the throne of your mind.
Made my choice.
She looks at you in silence, her face filled with fear, lips parted.
This feels like a choice for you guys. Are we going to arrest her, write her a station call, or leave her alone? Info says not to arrest her. I'll let you off the hook for now. Don't let me regret it.
I won't, sir.
She exhales, shaking visibly.
She slowly lights another cigarette and steadies her breath, as if in the presence of some tiger. You are. This is not the end of this.
Okay, what we got there?
As you look back, you think, so love did do him in, after all.
I was right.
If it weren't for her, he would not have been there. The shot would not have connected with his soft palate.
I turned to Klaasje. Looks like love did do him in after all.
She's silent, holding on to her coffee mug. No vapor rises from it. It's cold. It appears this one has not been entirely corrupted. This may help. This may help the others see.
I let her answer.
Yeah. I'd like to think he didn't love me. Or that it was chemically induced and not real. Easier that way.
Was it real?
I don't know.
She looks down at the yard, then back at her coffee. Okay, let's see if we can look at the sus window yet.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it.
Right, visual calculus. Let's go mess with our gear. She's pale blue, I think. More visual calculus. I'm just scrolling and not really paying any attention. Let's actually look at them proper. Right, visual calculus. Pale blue. Nope. I think that's all we got, unless anything we've got specifically lowers it. That's plus. That's plus. Nope. We can try again.
This window is pristine on the inside, unlike the one next to it. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes, a man and a woman on the single bed.
What position are they in?
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling, the woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth, a ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain.
Where does it come from?
From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back.
I inspect the ghostly figures.
The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization.
I have a look at point A on the roof.
The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points.
Shouldn't there be gun residue outside?
There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago.
So I'm what, 80% sure the roof is where the shot was made from?
72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belmagrave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium. A well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness. Too busy with their own bodies.
Couldn't the shot have come from inside the room, a closer point?
Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective.
Are there any arguments against A prime, the roof?
None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any.
Could there have been another point of origin further away?
That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez?
Extrapolate the radius to include all of Martinez.
According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime.
More precisely?
B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in
on. I have a good look at point B prime on the boardwalk.
700 meters away. The likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account.
Let's have a look at point B, Land's End.
1.2 kilometers away. The least likely of these positions. Let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it. Possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched.
Have a look at, point B cubed, I think? The islet.
1 kilometer away. An unlikely point of origin. Beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be. The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
Kim, do you think that shot could have come from further than the roof, in Martinez?
From where, precisely?
Let's say B prime, the boardwalk, B double prime, Land's End, or B triple prime, the islet.
I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance?
It's okay.
Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
Okay, it said something about questioning the Hardie Boys again, even though we previously told Titus we weren't going to. So let's just try and question them one more time. We've learnt a bit more just then about where the shot was taken, at least. Yep, he's still there.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay, I talked to Klaasje, and now I need to talk to Ruby.
Why?
I'm gonna level with you. She's the next link in the chain that leads to Lely's killer.
Sounds like you're making her a suspect in this. Not on my watch, you're not. Ruby's one of us. We're not gonna throw her under your moral intern steamroller. Fuck that shit.
And fuck you too, moral
He throws a glance at Titus as the last syllable leaves his lips. The big guy sighs.
Ruby is missing. If you hide from the police in a murder investigation, you become a suspect. You know how it works, guys.
That's nothing. That's just legalese. You don't even have a sound theory. I don't want to be rude, but we're trying to get some R&R here. Think you could fuck off now?
I think we'll keep sticking around, Titus. You'll be surprised at how quickly a theory presents itself if you keep looking.
Oh god, it's a logic roll this time. Okay. Will Kim notice if I take speed? Right. No. Oh wait, there's logic. There are other ones we can give. Let's make sure I'm not wearing anything again that'll mess with logic. Right, let's give him a go. Now, where am I?
It's you again. What is
I was going to see if there's any drugs I could take too, but let's see what the modifier is first. 42. Again. Okay.
It's you again. What is it?
Okay.
A sudden flash of lightning in your neocortex. The hostel cafeteria is lit by its airy blaze. Floor plans, bullet trajectories, webs of human emotion, all channeled into a single thought. A massive activity spike in the amygdala copicum, the part cops use to pin murders on people.
Why are you so sure that Ruby didn't off him?
Because she was here, all night, with us.
He's cobbling together shit so he can put her away. It's Cop 101.
She was here all night? 11:30 to 12:15? She was here during all that time?
Yeah, with us, drinking, near the stage there.
She didn't go to the toilet?
No.
In the whole 45-minute window, she was with you all the time.
All right. She took a fucking leak, okay? For one moment. Maybe went out, too. She has a complex operation to run from her lorry. She's a busy girl. Always has been.
Of course. Ruby is the lady driver in this great big jam mystery. Probably. You'll have to keep investigating. They'll never open up about it.
Just because she was gone for 5 minutes doesn't mean she magically got to the roof and shot the merc. I've been through this. It's not plausible.
All right, we're in. We got Ruby unaccounted for sometime during the window. This was crucial. Now let's place her on that roof. You got his attention. Now don't ruin it by making weird claims. Remember, you can still mess this up.
You do all agree that the shot came from the roof, right?
Why not? You can't draw a straight line into Klaasje's window from any of the surrounding buildings. Not from what I know about Martinez. Maybe from the coast. But like I said, I've been too busy dealing with you idiots. So no, I don't think it was a sniper. It was close up.
There's a 72% chance the bullet came from the roof.
72%. There's a percentage and all. Where'd you get it from? Your guys in the lab?
Yeah, big lab. Back in Jamrock. The Jamrock Ballistics Lab.
Wouldn't hurt to have one of those in Martinez. Still, all the labs in the world don't put her on that roof. How'd she get there? Climb?
There's a secret route in the kitchen that leads straight onto the roof.
How?
Through what looks like an abandoned pinball workshop.
People say there was a pinball arcade here, sometime before the hostel. What was it called, Theo?
East Delta Pinball Arcade. Weird place. Went bankrupt.
Okay, but how'd you get up? There's no room for a staircase in this building. Or an elevator, for that matter.
The elevator is outside the building. It's an old dumbwaiter used for moving pinball machines up and down from the workshop.
From there, a door leads straight onto the roof. You can just step outside.
Ruby could have gone up, shot him, come down. All under 7 minutes.
That's quite the theory. We need to have a look at that secret passage, boys.
I'm on it, boss. Right when the law clears, me and Angus are going up there.
It's a dumbwaiter, not an industrial lift. How about I go instead of...
Just now. You got something else to back this route up? Or is that it?
I also found footprints upstairs in the old workshop.
Footprints? Recent?
Recent.
What else could you make out? How recent? What size?
Well, they didn't fit with any of yours on the scene, Ruby included. No. There were prints there with horizontal lines.
Horizontal? I see they taught you well in your RCM school. My old man, a hunter, and a half-blind one at it, could have said that. Horizontal lines. Good news is, I'm still listening.
He knows they had to be recent for those lines to still read.
Okay,
This
let's try
wasn't
that
a
one
failure.
again.
Footprints. Recent.
They were about a week or two old.
That close, huh? How fortunate. I'll take a thorough look at those prints myself before I believe that call. Good news is, I'm still listening.
Okay. What else? I think they're the best ones. Remember that key I found here? I point at the window.
I don't like guessing, Carl.
It opens the steel door in the kitchen, the one that leads upstairs to the roof. This key was right here, with you, all the time.
You didn't find it, but Ruby did. That's how it got up there.
Quit jumping to conclusions, Theo. You took that key. Did it look like it was recently put there?
No, the ribbon was old. Faded. It'd have been there for 20 years at least.
She could have just put it back when she was done.
Why? This doesn't make sense. It's damn interesting, but it doesn't fit well, and you know it.
It doesn't fit well, but it fits. And he knows it.
Okay, I think the other ones sound kind of lunatic. Have we firmly established that Ruby could have access to the roof where the man was shot?
Firmly doesn't go well with could've. There's a route to the roof. Me and the boys need to check it out. That's what we've established. But a route does not put that bullet in his head. A gun does that, and Ruby doesn't carry one.
Phase 2, murder weapon. Get a gun in her hand. If not that, then at least a shadow of a doubt, in the shape of a gun.
I show him the antiques rifle. There are weapons like this just lying around, Martinez.
That looks antique. A Belle McGrave. It's inoperable. Where'd you get it?
There's a cellar under the bookshop. It was hidden there. There were others just like it.
20, maybe 30 rifles, Titus. Also broken, but still, there were too many. And there must be other caches too.
God damn it. We need to close that dump down for good.
Okay. I see your point. There are guns lying around. Damn it. I thought we'd found all the old spots. Why was that still there?
We just missed one. Ruby doesn't know this place, boss. Just these cops digging up shit.
The local pawn shop sold my lost gun to a woman. Maybe it was her.
You lost your gun?
The blonde man is taken aback, not even laughing.
What an idiot!
Tell me, did you lose it before the murder?
Yes.
No, you didn't. And Ruby didn't use your lost gun to kill him.
Stop thinking about your lost gun, damn it. You'll get a heart attack.
This was merely a thought exercise. He did not lose his gun. Let's move on.
I've analysed the bullet that killed him. It was jacketed.
So...
The man shrugs and looks at you.
So it had to come from a breech-loading rifle. Military grade. Not even you militia monkeys have those. This goes against your short-range theory. If the murder weapon was military grade, how did Ruby...
You don't know. Just be honest. Screw honest. You just showed him a breech-loading gun.
I just showed you a breech loader that any child could have.
A broken old broomstick is what you showed me. But point taken.
Guys, this is Revachol. Anyone can get a gun around here. Anyone.
Look, fucko. Ruby and I are pretty tight. She would have showed me the gun if she had one. She knows I love guns.
Yeah, everyone knows Glenn loves guns.
I don't know, Glenny. Ruby's a little secretive, isn't she? Wasn't like she told you every little thing.
This one does not like Ruby. May prove useful.
Klaasje said Ruby takes care of things. You don't do that without a gun in Revachol.
She organizes things. She doesn't whack people. That's not the kind of person she is. She's a talker.
It's clear this one is protective of her.
Easy now, Glenn. What he's trying to say is, people who don't have guns don't shoot people. You need a gun for that. You can't prove she has one.
You don't need to prove anything. Doubt is enough for now. And Titus must have some.
I didn't say I proved she had the murder weapon, just that we need to find her.
I don't know, Cop. Why don't you find your lost gun first?
The tattooed man burst out laughing at his own joke.
Easy now, Al. This isn't comedy hour.
Titus, we're not seriously considering it, are we? Ruby wouldn't do this. Why would she do something like this?
Phase 3. Motive. The last component. The big one. Get this and they'll give her to you. Remember, don't piss him off. That never works.
Motive. Nope. When Klaasje came downstairs, Ruby appeared to know something was wrong.
Nah, man. That's just Ruby. She's got shit under control. That's her whole thing. That's why she's so good.
Plus, man, it's like female intuition, you know. Women talk to women. Which is sort of why we need someone on the team who they talk to.
Or she knew what happened because she killed him.
Not so useful.
It's not why did she kill him, it's why did she organize the cover-up.
And I suppose you have a theory on that.
She could have just been covering up for herself, Titus.
Think about it. Why go through all that effort? It was her idea, wasn't it? The hanging. You went along, but she suggested it.
She had, like, a fully formed plan and shit. Right when she came back downstairs.
Really, Shanks? Klaasje wanted to talk to another girl, that's all. She was just the first one up there. I could have come up with that plan if I'd have been first.
Time for a logics demonstration.
Eugene, let's just assume that you killed him.
He scoffs.
Think. You kill him. Get up there. Shoot him. Get down.
Would you prefer to go on trial with your friends as part of a lynch mob, or alone for committing murder?
The man is silent.
If she used us to cover her own shit up, well, that's a serious violation of the Hardie Code, boss.
Which is why she didn't. She would never do that. Why aren't more of you defending her? This is fucking stupid, Titus.
Glenn, I thought the same thing when she skipped town and left us in this shit.
Oh, so he didn't rule her out completely. And she skipped town. This is good.
Titus, you have to see it. Things don't add up. We need to talk to her.
Silence. He looks around the room. The old man in the corner nods a very small nod, and a trickle of tobacco spit on his lip.
Yeah, I see it. There's one more thing I've been wondering about, ever since you asked me where she is. I don't know where she went. She just got up and left. Got real scared, too. Wouldn't tell me where. However hard I asked. Want to know why?
Why?
She was afraid I would tell you. Maybe she was right. By now, I probably would.
He looks you straight in the eye.
She knew there's evidence on her, and she knew we'd find it. This is typical suspect behavior, why fleeing is always incriminatory.
Perhaps. Ask her if you find her. It won't be easy, though. She made sure of that.
When did she leave?
Friday afternoon, when you first arrived. I got word the RCM was in town. Then she came in to see me. Told me she was leaving. That's when we had our little conversation.
What was she scared of?
I told you. You.
Me personally?
Yes, you. The cop with the sideburns and the disco clothes.
And a hole in his heart. That first.
I have no idea why she'd be scared. I'm just a normal cop with regular thoughts in his head.
Sure. Normal. You know, when I first saw you limp in here, I thought she was paranoid or sniffing her own supply. But now I'm not so sure.
What else did Ruby tell you about me?
She said you have a funny taste in clothes, and that you won't stop.
Won't stop?
Until you have something on her. She said she's heard of you from Jamrock, that you're a human can opener, that you play suspects against each other, open them up, like cans.
Fucking hell. Titus, did he just...
Open Angus up like a can? Yes, he did. Now, we can whine about it, whack him, or we can go on with our lives. I'm having a go on with our lives kind of day, Al. How about you?
Silence. He nods.
Is it true, Kim? Am I a can opener?
You are insistent.
Trophy earned, goodest of the good cops. Anything else?
Yeah, there was something else. She wouldn't tell me, though. I could see she wanted to. It was burning on her lips. This cop, Titus, this cop, he... But she was too scared.
Scared? You should be, too. A strange fear creeps over you. A metallic taste in your mouth.
Do you have
Change the subject.
Do you have any clues on where Ruby went?
She's not far. We know that much. She didn't take her lorry, so she's on foot.
Good fucking luck, man. She knows this place like the back of her hand. You'll never find her.
Yeah, Al. And we won't either.
She's not really a Hardie candidate anymore, is she?
She's not, Glenn.
Have you looked for her?
A little. On the coast.
Where have you looked for her, more precisely?
More precisely, on the coast, past the waterlog. She's not here, so I'm thinking she's there.
Can you tell me where on the coast I should start looking?
Sure. There's some shithouses there. A cinderblock town. Fisherfolk there refuse to unionize. So, that's one place we haven't looked. I hear they have a shack where junkies sometimes crash. Time for you to step up.
We will start there. One more question. What does Ruby look like?
Boyish. Hair's red. Dyed. She looks like a Lowry man.
It's not much, but it'll do.
It'll have to.
He puts out his hand, and I shake it.
His grip is firm and reassuring, like holding a piece of unpolished granite. Not just granite, tightly packed RCM Sergeant material.
You should be a cop, Titus.
When are you gonna get it through your dumb head? I already am. I just wasn't sure you were.
And he still isn't. People aren't afraid of good cops in the way Ruby was afraid of you, he thinks, then turns back to his men.
Okay, guys, we got to level again and all that. What do you want to level up this time? Empathy. It's almost like you think I'm not empathic enough. Okay, before we log off for the night, I want to try and find Klaasje's passport, 'cause it's the kind of thing I might forget.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That Ruby of yours?
Yeah, and?
Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Klaasje. It was nice and Ruby-centric in the end.
What do you mean?
Anything strike you a bit off about this mishmash?
Well, the bullet didn't have to come from the roof. It could have come from anywhere on the coast.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window.
The bullet was jacketed. Those just don't lie around everywhere, do they?
Good point. It is rather rare these days, but do continue.
It turned out that the bullet was an antique.
True. Strange how you conducted the whole advanced ballistics analysis, and then hand-waved it.
The footprints in the pinball workshop didn't fit with the old Odd Souls prints at the crime scene.
No, they didn't.
And so far, no one has mentioned hearing a shot.
Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardie and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
I'm done thinking about this.
That's right. Finish thought. Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof. Lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not me?
Shut up, Elysium. Anyway, I'm trying to remember where we decided the teleportation point was. So we should just teleport to the fishing village if we can. Oh wait, that might have been it. I think I clicked out too soon. So it's night, so we should possibly put our flashlight on for now. Let's go try and figure out where this place on the reeds are. I'm thinking... It bothered me because Klaasje mentioned the passport before, and I think last time when we were up near the cryptozoologists, I think of vaguely up the coast here, Inland Empire said something that I thought was going to lead us to the passport, and then nothing happened. I think it was around here. This could be the boy that Klaasje told you about. Okay. And?
A metal and plastic contraption bobs up and down amidst the trembling reeds. At first, it just looks like trash, but if you look closer.
That, over there, must be the boy Klaasje told us about. The one she hid her passport in. We should take a look.
Cold, air, tendons. Snapped the cords, keeping the boy in place. A little longer, and it would be floating somewhere out in the open sea.
What?
Moves across the water, leaving no traces. You're cold again, as always.
Yes, but who or what is this?
Splendor.
Damn, I just felt really strange just now.
Mm-hmm.
We're lucky it's still here. Any longer and it would have floated away.
Indeed. Let's see what's inside.
I pick up the boy.
The boy is not tied to anything. The cords dangling from the bottom really have been torn or cut. You lift it out of the water easily, noticing how light it is.
I examine the plastic ball.
The number 11 has been written on the yellow plastic. It hasn't been in the water for very long, but it's already discolored and slimy with silt. A latch holds it close, but only just barely. The brittle metal of the latch has cracked.
Simple construction. Very unsafe.
I shake the boy.
There's something in there, splashing around.
I sniff the boy.
It smells like you would expect it to smell. A concentrated version of the coast. Salt, industrial slop and decay. And just a dash of hard liquor. Yum. The water this side of the peninsula is cleaner, actually. Smells a little salty.
I open the boy.
A shot glass's worth of seawater pours out. Some algae, and nothing else.
Well done.
No documents. Who do you think took them?
I have no idea.
This is a minor quirk. We know it was in the boy anyway.
Or think we do. This is a small loose end, either way. Not important, I hope.
Maybe Klaasje took them herself.
That may very well be the case. We should keep an eye on her. Nothing more for us to do here. Let's go.
You could ask the miss what she thinks. Later, if you have the time. Though you doubt she'll tell you much at this point.
Well, that was disappointing. Anyway, let's head back to the village. Oh, another level. Info, would you like to pick another thing to level from the thought cabinet? There's your options for the record. It's interesting looking at the ones you've picked. Endurance. What kind of skill is endurance? Let's find it. Oh, there it is. One of the physical ones. We haven't really gone in for the physical. Anyway, I need to get back to where I was. I think I've come the wrong way. Or at least this isn't the way I came in before. Let's try and figure out how to get back to the fishing village. For it's in-game getting late, and I guess I should send them to rest. How the hell did I get here? Must have been by that point. Ah, there we go, around there. Getting lost in the dark. There it is. Fishing village.
It's getting late, and it's raining. Time to call it a day.
Good night, Kim.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest.
I go to sleep.
The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net,
Sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes. Tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
Great, this is going to be really chill.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately? Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
I don't care, that doesn't scare me.
Hear that? You are naive to think he's afraid of his bloodied hands. Soul brother. Oh no, I see inside his amygdala and his hippocampus. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
What is it?
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad.
They're right. This is their function. To keep you from it.
Why are you doing this? I just want to sleep. I can almost see the dark.
We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream?
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
And the air will smell of apricots.
Of hell. An ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay.
Doesn't sound like it'll be okay.
Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window in the church.
I open my eyes. Okay, we're all healed up. Well, we can probably get rid of the light for now. I'm still curious about when the voice said something about the floorboards. But anyway, that's an adventure for another time, so let's just save the game. I think we've done well there tonight. We've well and truly advanced the story, and we've got a new lead to follow next time. So thanks for bearing with me. I'm Kim or Adverse Camber 42. My main stream is live Mondays and Wednesdays at 8 p.m. GMT and Saturdays at 5 p.m. GMT, where we're currently playing Yakuza 4 Remastered on PlayStation 4. I am also currently playing Poppy Playtime on a Sunday morning if you're interested in checking that out. It is a horror game. I'm having kind of fun with it. This Sunday we'll be starting on Chapter 3 if you're interested. This is my game on the side, just as and when I have a couple of free hours. If you follow the Adverse Camber 42 Twitter or Blue Sky accounts, I'll always try and give you the heads up when I'm going to pop on and play in case you want to level my character and make difficult choices for me. I also have an Adverse Camber 42 YouTube channel where old episodes are put up usually within a day of them airing here, in case you want to catch up on the plot of Disco Elysium so far or any of the previous games I've played. My tastes are varied and there's quite a lot on there now, including Danganronpa 1 and 2, Goodbye Volcano High, House of Ashes, Lies of P, One Piece Odyssey, Cyberpunk 2077, Dredge, Bugsnax. Do check them out if you're interested. I'm also one half of Things Are Getting Strange in X-Files Rewatch Podcast. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. New episodes go up every Thursday, 8 p.m. GMT. We're reviewing the X-Files 2 episodes at a time. We're currently on Season 9, and next Thursday's episode will cover John Doe, and Hellbound. So please do check that out if you're interested, and if you can afford to do so, also support our Patreon. Helps keep the lights on and gives you access to things you can't get anywhere else, including a full Let's Play of the 1998 X-Files FMV game for the original PlayStation. Anyhow, that's all tonight. Thanks for bearing with me. If I don't speak to you again before, I'll see you Saturday, 5 PM GMT for the next part of Yakuza. Take care, everyone. Enjoy the rest of your week.